So I was about 14 years old. My mom drove me to this get together, and it kind of walks people who want to start a business. She had no idea what was going on. I mean, I'm surprised my mom was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to this random place, leave you there for like an hour, and hopefully you're there when I come back." But
welcome to the Recursive Health Podcast. We have a guest here. His name is Eric Gomez. He is the CEO of SG Wealth Managers. And welcome to the podcast, Eric. How are you doing?
good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you here and talk about some interesting topics.
All right. Fantastic. So if you can you just introduce yourself a little bit and just start with a little bit of your background, just a short summary so people can get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, so my name is Eric Gomez. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of SG Wealth Managers. I have a background not only in business, specifically economics, but I also have a background in IT as well. And that's kind of what we're here to discuss, a little bit of IT topics and a little bit of finance and investments.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. So could you talk a little bit about SG Wealth Managers, what you guys do, what you guys provide?
Yeah, so we're a comprehensive wealth management firm. We specialize in everything from estate planning, investment management. We also focus, because we primarily deal with high income earners, tax efficiency modeling. We do financial education. Typically, if we're dealing with larger estates, we like to educate the family on what's going on, provide them resources and tools to get that done. And then if we're working with companies, we manage both 401k plans and cash balance plans or defined benefit plans for the companies.
Okay, cool. So could you talk a little bit about the financial education piece? So, so what's your philosophy on that? How do you feel about, wealth management and things like that when people come to you? What do you try to encourage them to do?
Really just get an idea of what their goals are and get an idea of what the objective of the money that they're building up, the reason why they're accumulating wealth, and based off of that, we kind of build out a plan, factoring in taxes, factoring in the need for flexibility and liquidity, and then factoring in really if there's going to be a legacy that's needed to be passed down to the next generation, factoring who's going to be inheriting those funds, what their knowledge level is of investing. So a lot that goes into it. There's about 20 different talking points that we'll cover with clients when we're kind of discussing wealth management planning.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I have a question here because you talked a little bit about the fact that you started off in IT actually, and then you sort of moved into this wealth management sector. So could you tell us a little bit about your history with that? I think that's really cool to be in IT and then go all the way to wealth management. It seems like a completely different switch.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was younger, my father had worked for a company that was just implementing computers in the workplace for the first time, kind of aging myself here. And he got the computer and he was supposed to use that to train and really get familiar with the software that they were implementing with the company. I ended up going in his toolbox one day when he was at work and he left it at home and taking that thing apart. Got in trouble for it. And I had to put it back together.
Yeah.
Put it back together, press the button, cross my fingers, and the computer booted up. So I was very fortunate for that. But
Yeah.
ever since then, I thought it was pretty fascinating that there is this thing that I can take apart, switch things in it, and press a button, it turns on, and then I can use my Netscape browser to go on the internet and find whatever I wanted, whatever I can really think of as far as information. So I just was fascinated that there is a box that can do that for me.
So you got hooked once you dodged the first punishment.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think I put the computer back together more out of fear than confidence that I can do it.
Yeah.
But it just fascinated me, and I wanted to be a part of that world a little bit more. So I ended up wanting to make money when I was young, And
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to go to college. My family, we didn't have a lot of money. We weren't in a position to where we can cover my college tuition. And I was like, I could probably work, make some money, and do that. And I also want things like a car. So let me see what I can do with these computers. So then I started learning about computer parts. I would take out the RAM on the computer and look at the part serial numbers, and I go online and Google the serial numbers and find out who made that RAM, who made the hard drives, where I can buy them if I had to replace them, and really it was like, I think I could do this for a business. I have no idea how to do a business,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna learn. So I typed in Arizona business because I'm from Phoenix in Arizona,
Yeah.
and first thing that came up was the Small Business Association of Arizona, and they had they were they had a bulletin board where they posted that they were going to be having a get together for anyone looking to start a business. So I was about 14 years old. My mom drove me to this get together, and it kind of walks people who want to start a business. She had no idea what was going on. I mean, I'm surprised my mom was like, "Yeah, I'll take you to this random place, leave you
Yeah.
there for like an hour, and hopefully you're there when I come back." But uh,
Okay.
that's just dropped me off, and from there, room full of adults. I'm a kid. Everyone's looking at me like, "Man, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I want to start a
Yeah.
business doing computers." So
Yeah.
then they walked me through. I had a lot of great people that was like, "Hey, we want to help this kid. Hey, here's the form that you need to register your business. This is how much money it's going to cost. Once you register your business, these are the steps you need to do afterwards." And yeah, from there, I started doing the business, and the next step was figuring out how to get clients, right, and how to
Yeah.
get business.
The hard
So,
part.
so the next thing I figured out is I overheard some adults talking about Craigslist in one of the networking events that the SBA provided. And I was like, "What is Craigslist?" So went on there and found that there were businesses posting, "Hey, I can help you out with your computer stuff, your IT stuff." So I posted some ads with my cell phone number and my email address, and uh, started getting clients that way. I didn't have a
Okay.
car at the time, so I would take the bus to to clients' homes. Started doing individuals, and then over time, I met some business owners through the networking events. Hey, can you do this for my office, or do you have access to printers? And from there, I started scaling up a little bit on what I was kind of focusing on with the company, the business at the time.
So you sound like a person that really has like quite a lot of work ethic. You've had a lot of work ethic from a really young age. Like, where do you think that came from? Was that just were you just enjoying yourself and trying to do this, or what even came to your head to make this into a business?
I mean, I've always been curious about life in general, but the thing that really instilled strong work ethic in me is definitely my mother. We grew up very, very poor, and I mean, we had to use things like food stamps and state assistance to be able to feed ourselves. And I saw what my mother did to get us out of that and put us in a better place. And she would work multiple jobs. She had two kids at the time, and she'd take us on the bus to daycare, drop us off, go to her first job, come back after she finished her shift, see us for a little bit, hop back on the bus, go to her second job, take us at home. She'd have a sitter. My grandmother would watch us, and then she'd go to her
Yeah.
third shift. So she had multiple
Wow.
jobs, really, really grinded and worked hard, never complained. I never seen her cry that she had to, put in long hours. I never seen her, blame us for it. She did it with a smile, and it ended up putting us in a position to where I didn't have to see some of the things I did growing up, which I'm very fortunate that she looked out for us like that. So I'll never forget that. And she expected us to work just as hard, and I just think it's normal. So that's really it.
You do think it's normal. That's amazing, man. That's a great story.